What if the best English lesson you ever had wasn't a lesson at all? What if it was a story? A late train, a chance encounter, two strangers who haven't spoken in 13 years. Welcome to Stories That Speak, a series where every episode is a short story told entirely in English, packed with the kind of vocabulary and expressions that native speakers actually use. Not textbook English, real English. The English of conversations, confessions, and quiet moments between strangers on a train. But here's what makes this different. Every story we tell carries something deeper, a lesson about life, about growth, about the questions we all ask ourselves when no one's watching. By the end of each episode, you won't just have learned new words, you'll have something to think about. Here's what you'll walk away with. You'll build a vocabulary of advanced, natural English, the kind that makes you sound fluent, not just correct. You'll train your ear to follow real conversations with all their pauses, idioms, and unspoken meaning. And you'll walk away with a piece of wisdom, something that might just change how you see your own life. Because language isn't just about words, it's about ideas, and the best way to learn both is through a story worth telling. So, settle in. The train is about to leave the station, and trust me, you don't want to miss this stop. Let's begin.
Of all the nights to miss the last connection.
Excuse me, Nora? Nora Hayes?
I'm sorry, Oh my God. Sam? Sam Whitfield?
I almost didn't say anything. I told myself, there's no way that's actually her. And then you sighed exactly the way you used to sigh during finals week, and I just knew.
That's terrifying that you remember that. It's been, 12 years?
13, actually. Not that I've been counting.
Sure you haven't. So, what are you doing on a train to nowhere at 11 at night?
Visiting my dad. He's been a bit under the weather, so I try to go up every other weekend. You?
Book tour, believe it or not, or what's left of one. My event got cut short. Turns out nobody wants to hear an author ramble about her process when there's a storm warning.
Wait, the Nora Hayes? As in, published an actual novel, Nora Hayes?
Don't sound so shocked.
No, I remember you scribbling in notebooks during lectures, and everyone assumed you were taking notes, but I caught a glimpse once. It definitely wasn't notes.
You saw that?
I did, and I never told anyone for the record, though I did wonder for years what happened to the girl with the secret notebook.
Well, now you know. She got rejected 60-some times, almost gave up twice, and somehow ended up on a delayed train telling her life story to someone she hasn't seen in over a decade.
60 times? How did you not give up?
Honestly, I think I was too stubborn to know better. Every rejection felt like proof I was on the wrong path, but quitting felt like admitting I'd wasted years for nothing, so I just kept going. Mostly out of spite, if I'm being truthful.
That's oddly inspiring. Spite as a creative strategy.
Put that on the back cover of my next book.
Evening, folks. Tickets, please, and apologies for the delay. We're stopped just outside the station. There's a signal issue ahead.
No rush. We're not exactly in a hurry to get anywhere tonight.
Funny. I hear that a lot on this route. Something about late trains makes people more honest.
That's a very poetic observation for someone checking tickets at 11 p.m.
10 years on this line, you pick things up. People say things on delayed trains they'd never say in daylight. Confessions, apologies, life updates to old friends they haven't spoken to in years.
That's eerily specific.
Just an observation. Enjoy the ride, what's left of it.
Okay, that was unsettling.
A little bit, yeah. Though, for what it's worth, he's not wrong. I probably wouldn't have said anything if I'd seen you in broad daylight at, like, a grocery store.
Why not?
Because in daylight there's an exit. You can just wave and keep walking. On a stalled train in the middle of nowhere, there's nowhere to go. So you actually talk.
That's a strange kind of freedom when you think about it. Forced stillness.
It really is. Actually, can I ask you something? And feel free to say it's none of my business.
Go ahead.
Back in school, you always seemed like you had this whole plan. Like you knew exactly where you were headed, even when the rest of us were just guessing. Did you actually know? Or were you just better at pretending?
Honestly, I had no idea. I just had one very small, very specific thing I wanted. To finish writing one story. Just one, all the way to the end. That was it. Everything else, the tour, the rejections, this conversation right now, none of that was part of any plan. I just kept doing the next small thing.
That's oddly comforting, actually. I always assumed everyone else had it figured out and I was just behind somehow.
Nobody has it figured out. They're just better at looking like they do. What about you? What ended up happening with the engineering thing? I remember you talking about wanting to build bridges, literally.
I did, for a while. Then I realised I liked designing them more than building them, so I shifted towards structural design. Now I mostly sit behind a screen, which is less glamorous than building bridges, but I like it.
That counts. You're still building bridges, just different kinds.
I'll allow that metaphor.
And we're moving, folks. Should be a smooth ride from here.
Well, there goes our excuse for forced stillness.
We could always pretend the train still stopped.
Tempting. But honestly, this was nice, really nice. I think I needed a conversation like this more than I realized.
Same here. Hey, for what it's worth, if you ever do another event nearby, let me know. I'd actually like to hear you talk about your process, storm warning or not.
I might just take you up on that.
Funny thing about delayed trains, they don't just take you where you're going. Sometimes they take you back to someone you'd almost forgotten. And sometimes that's exactly the stop you needed.